Today I want to take a moment and I want to talk about the merger between WWE and UFC. And we're going to go into some details, but mostly what I want to focus on is what this means for the martial arts world. And in my opinion, why this could be a very negative thing. So in case you missed the news, a company called Endeavor, which also owns the UFC, is to merge the two iconic, complementary global sports and entertainment brands, UFC and WWE, to form a new $21 billion live sports and entertainment company. Now, many of you might not see that as an issue. You might go, okay, you know what? The UFC is the UFC, WWE is doing their own thing. Nothing is gonna really cross over that much. But I disagree. I disagree because I think we're going to see some UFC fighters jump over and occasionally do something within the WWE. And who knows, we might even see some more fighters like Brock Lesnar, who came from WWE, coming over to the Ultimate Fighting Championship. But I got a very interesting email the other day from one of the longtime subscribers on this channel and somebody that I actually work with weekly doing privates. And he gave me his opinion on this merger and he summed it up so well. And I want to read that to you right now. What he says is, one of the things that I strongly dislike about the UFC is the WWE element. And now that the UFC and WWE are trying to merge, it'll probably only get worse. And I have to agree with him in terms of, yes, if there was already that small element of fighters trying to act spectacular, to have that wrestling sort of mentality, of course, it's only going to improve, or not improve, it's only going to grow, I guess is the best word in this case. Now, he says, it's one of the reasons that I avoid watching the press conferences and interviews with the fighters before fights. I really dislike the blatant lack of honor and respect, two of the core principles of martial arts for many. Absolutely. Honor and respect are things that I believe in martial arts are a must. My dad actually had a t-shirt years ago made up. It was a strength and honor logo, a samurai helmet around it. It said Varga Bros Martial Arts. And it's just something, respect and honor, that you absolutely should have. And the problem with high-level fighters creating a persona and an image, maybe they're not even those people, but it shows other fighters or fans that that's who it's okay to be. It's okay to be like this, and general people in the public then view fighters or athletes in the fight world in a negative way. And then he goes on to say, to be fair to the competitors, the negative talking between opponents is encouraged and expected by management to, quote, sell the fight. It just seems sad to me that a program that is mostly about martial arts has to jettison many of the very ideals of those martial arts to be successful. I actually learned something when I was reading this the other day, jettison. I was going, what does that mean? It means something to get rid of, something encumbering. So when you read that sentence again, you go, okay, it seems sad to me that a program that is mostly about martial arts has to jettison many of the very ideals of those martial arts to be successful. So you have to unload them. You have to get rid of those martial arts values to be a fighter of Adesanya's standing or of Conor McGregor's standing. You have to kind of throw those martial arts ideals out of the way, and that's going to help you climb, because people like the WWE, they like that aspect of craziness and kind of throwing those principles which we are taught in martial arts to the side to be spectacular. And he finishes off by saying the idea of the honorable warrior is apparently a quaint one. And this sort of stemmed from the conversation that I was doing the other day about Adesanya when he was pretending to be knocked out and then pointing at Pereira's son. And he was just saying, you know, it seems sad that a UFC champion has to stoop to that level of, you know, poking fun at somebody. Yes, I know many of you say that his son did something which was inappropriate, taunting Adesanya when he got knocked out. I agree, not cool. But you are a UFC champion. That is a child. Are you on the same playing field in terms of what's appropriate and what's not appropriate? So we're gonna get back to now talking about the merger between WWE and UFC. Many of you have probably just gone, you know what? UFC is gonna do their own thing. But now with this merge and probably some crossing of, I'm gonna call them athletes, I guess WWE, those guys are very athletic. So we'll say crossing of athletes, and maybe with the same owners, there might be that extra push to really go for spectacular characters, to really sell that persona of who you are. And it is going to aggressively attack people in the past, like GSP, who went, you know what, I want to be a warrior. I want to be a martial arts warrior who comes in, who is respectful. If your skill level is not way up here like GSP, you're never gonna reach that fame and fortune, which he did. He relied strictly on his skills and being honorable. It's gonna be much harder to do that for anybody who's not in that top 10 position in all of the UFC. They're gonna be brash, they're gonna be bold, and it's going to hurt martial arts image, in my opinion. Now, something that I wanna just comment on as well is I had somebody come up from the States just last week, and they said, Gabriel, that video you did about what it takes to be a good person really hit home with me, and I just thought that was so cool. He said he actually changed the way he started acting around other people to try and strive to be better and not to look at other people who couldn't do what he did and put them down or treat them in, you know, a slightly negative way. And I went, because of my video? Wow, that is so complimentary to hear that it's actually creating some change. And that's what I'm hoping that this video does too. I'm hoping that some of the people out there who are high level guys, or not even high level yet, but are aspiring to be high level, you can realize that yes, you can reach that top level based on skills alone. People like Khabib, people like GSP have done it. Maybe they're not getting those massive paychecks like Conor McGregor did, like the very, very top ones, but they still made a killing. They still made loads of money. I've heard that GSP was kind of getting like 5 million per fight, and he did it without having to throw the martial arts values to the side. So I really hope I'm wrong. And I really hope this merger between WWE and UFC is not a negative thing in terms of how it's going to cause people out in the world to view fighters. That's the main concern I have. And this will be for another time, another episode, but I just want to point out that you might think that this negative persona does not follow a lot of fighters, but it absolutely does. I do have a story about somebody questioning my integrity as a person. Will I keep this other person safe who is in my life? Will I protect them or will I hurt them because of my fighting background? And it was really to this other person in question whether I would be an asset or a danger. And that is not because I do anything which should call question into my character. It's because people hear negative stuff about fighters. If you're in the fight world, you know fighters are usually amazing people. The person who will run across the street to help you if something bad is going down. But general people who don't follow fight sports, they do not see us that way all the time. And I think this merger is going to hurt us even more in the eyes of the public who don't know anything about the sport. But that's all I wanted to talk about today. I'll be very interested to read the comments below and hear what you think, whether this is going to be a positive or it's going to be a negative or it's just going to be neutral and change absolutely nothing. If you guys enjoyed the episode, please give it a like. Join the channel and get subscribed if you have not already. Train hard. Keep living those martial arts values day in and day out. And I will see you back here soon for another episode.